What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we are back with another Hot Toys unboxing and review video. Today we are going to do one that I am very excited to review with you guys. This is going to be Iron Man, or classic Iron Man from the Marvel Comics. This one is one that I've been looking forward to reviewing with you guys because number one, this is the first time that I will be doing an unboxing video based on a figure that I previewed before. So for those of you guys who have been following my channel, I previewed this guy a couple of months ago when Hot Toys first announced it. So it was a figure that I was already excited to get. And well, we have received the figure. So very excited to go ahead and get a review with you guys and see if my thinking has changed based on my preview video to now that I have the figure in hand. Before we do get started with the video, as usual, guys, want to thank you for the continued support. Thank you so much for those of y'all who keep watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. If it is the first time that you are watching me, as always, welcome to my channel. It is a pleasure to have you on. Feel free to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and also hit the notifications bell so that way you guys can stay updated with any upcoming videos that I will be posting. Want to remind you that this figure was purchased on Sideshow Collectibles. The link to that is on the description of the video, although sadly I don't believe there's any more Iron Man figures available since this was a limited edition or a Hot Toys exclusive. I will share my thoughts about that a little bit later on the video, but for now, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the review. Okay, guys, with the box, let me just say this, guys. This box is absolutely awesome. As you guys can see, we have Iron Man here pretty much in the main cover, along with a blue panel of comic stamps on the back. We have our Marvel logo on the left and the Iron Man logo at the top right, and a Sideshow logo, which is kind of surprising. We never really get a Sideshow logo. On the right side, we have the foam cover with the Marvel Comics logo in the middle, and pretty much this is what's going to come out of the box and where we would be able to review the figure. On the other side, pretty much the same, the warning and the warning signs pretty much, along with the blue background that I mentioned before. That light blue color looks so awesome, and that's, again, it's pretty much a bunch of comic panels on it, and that light blue color just matches so well with the yellow and red. I can't express enough how great this box is. Pretty much on the left side, we have the Iron Man logo in the middle, along with the Marvel logo at the top and a right shoulder of Iron Man. Everything looks absolutely amazing. And we do also have a die-cast logo at the very bottom. Just kind of an FYI, since this is a die-cast figure. At the very top, we once again have a yellow pretty much part of the box with the Iron Man logo. The Iron Man logo looks phenomenal. It is the same as it is in the comics, and it matches the box very, very well. And at the bottom, we have a Marvel logo. So this box is one of the best that I've seen. It looks absolutely amazing. We are off to a fantastic start so far. And now we get to the second box, guys. So pretty much the second box is just going to be a foam cover. We have the Origins Classic Iron Man logo at the top cover of the foam box, and that's where we're going to go ahead and get the figure. We do have a lot of plastic covering, which makes sense. Again, with these type of figures, I'm glad that they are very well protected. So that's something that I always admire about Hot Toys. But getting this guy and reviewing him for the first time, my first thoughts, honestly, first, he's heavy, really heavy, but he looks really, really good. As you guys can see, the paint applications are very bright and very good. I love how he looks so far. He looks great, exactly as he is in the comics and also in the preview video that I made a couple of months ago. Everything looks good so far. Obviously, these are just my initial thoughts. We will review him more in detail later on in the video, but for now, we are off to a good start. This guy is heavy, but he looks massive, and I am very glad that he feels that way. Again, off to a good start. But as you guys know, before we do review him in detail, we are going to review all of his accessories one by one, and then we'll get to the figure. Okay, guys, now we get to the accessories as mentioned before. So we have a little bit less accessories than I expected, but at the same time, I'm not complaining about them. We first start with this absolutely beautiful base. So the base is exactly as it is in the preview video that I did a couple of months ago. We have the blue, kind of the light bluish color plaque of Iron Man, and then we have this very nice base that feels really, really good. We have this kind of arc reactor type of background to him. And we do have, of course, the flight pole that is a little bit taller than usual. I'm starting to like that about Hot Toys. The flight poles are starting to become a little bit taller than usual. Now, this arc reactor type of background does have a type of magnet that attaches on the back, only at the back, and that's really good because that makes it be attachable to the base in an easier way. So it looks really, really good. The base, it's absolutely awesome. It's big. It gives us a lot of space for Iron Man, and of course we're able to pose him flying or fighting or any other way in a great manner. We get to the face sculpt. It looks so awesome. The way the hair is, the way the skin texture, his eyes, it looks exactly as it is in the comics. And also it gives him like a type of animated type of view to him that I can tell this guy doesn't come from like an actual action life movie, but he comes more from the comics or an animated series. He looks really, really good. The mustache, the eyebrows, it looks exactly as Tony Stark on those comics. We do have also an interchangeable faceplate or face mask, whatever you guys want to call it. So we're going to be able to exchange this mask with the one that he already has on the figure. Of course, we will review that a little bit later on in detail. As you guys can see, the yellow part does have magnets to it that go attached onto the face, and I'm glad that it includes that. I feel like it attaches better to the figure, and so that's something that helps. So it looks really good. As mentioned before, guys, the paint applications on this figure are absolutely amazing. We do also have these kind of roller skates, if you want to call it that. I'm glad that they included these. I'm not sure I'm going to use them, but at the same time, it just gives us more details to review. They do go attached at the bottom part of the foot for Iron Man. Of course, it does include one for each foot, and the rolling wheels are there. So again, I like the fact that they included them. It gives to the character more meaning, right? Not sure I'm going to use them, right? But at the same time, it does come included with them. We do have also 5 pieces of hands. Of course, not included the fist bumps that he already has connected to the figure. These 2 hands are, of course, going to have him posing in a way where he's shooting light beams out of his hands. As you guys can see, it's kind of like a see-through type of cover on the middle of the hand, because of course once we install the batteries, these things would light up. And then these hands are going to be pretty much the same. The difference is that the fingers are going to bend, so that's going to give us a couple of more options to pose the figure. If you guys want to pose the figure in a different way, you guys are able to do so. Again, as I always say, each one of you guys will have a choice as far as how to display this figure. So of course the other 2 hands just have them wide open. These hands, all fingers are bendable, so it gives us some options, right? Again, up to you guys how you want to pose them. And of course the closed fist hands would be connected to the figure. So again, just gives you guys a lot of options to connect to display the figure. Now this to me is my favorite part of the accessories, and it's the hand with the light beam connected to it. It looks absolutely awesome. It looks really, really good, and I love how this part of the light beam, or I guess the power beam, whatever you guys want to call it, sadly it's only for one hand, right? I wish they would have included for both hands, just to kind of give us some more options to pose Iron Man. But again, the fact that they included one of them looks really, really good. Absolutely awesome. Love how it looks. And then just lastly, we have a pack of batteries. So pretty much all these batteries are going to go in his face, his chest, and his hands. And we'll go over a little bit later on as far as how to install those batteries. But very excited to get it connected to go ahead and see the character in that way. But pretty much that's going to be it for the accessories, guys. The suitcase does not come with this figure. Only the special edition comes with it. Sadly, I wasn't able to get that, so I do apologize about that. I think there were only 60 versions of that release, but for now, these are all the accessories. Everything looks really, really good. No complaints at all for now. Okay, guys, with the figure, now let's go ahead and review this guy more in detail. As I mentioned before, this guy looks exactly as he is in the comics and as he is in the preview video that I did a couple of months ago. The most impressive thing to me for sure, and the thing that stands out, is the paint applications. The paint is so well done. The colors look so bright, and this thing looks really, really good. Now, maybe I'm being a little bit too exaggerated, but at the same time, again, this is the first classic Iron Man that I received, so I really just excited with what I've received from Hot Toys. Just taking a look here at the arms, guys. So the arms are pretty stretchable. They're not that easy to bend, and I actually like that because whenever the figure is too easy to bend, I feel like it feels loose and not as easy as it should be. Looking at the legs, same thing. The legs are hard to bend. They pretty much bend at a 90-degree angle, as you guys can see here, and they're hard to bend. They feel heavy, and again, that's a great thing because that means that whenever we stand the figure, it's going to be hard for it to kind of fold or bend. It pretty much gives the character or the figure a good stance, and that's actually a really good thing. Take a look here at the back part. So pretty much, if you guys want to, we can go ahead and start turning on the battery so that you guys can see how he looks with the lights on. So pretty much we're going to remove this back part, which is what is going to turn on the arc reactor and his chest piece. Pretty much all the batteries have been installed, guys. I don't want to go ahead and have you guys watch me here for 20 minutes trying to install the batteries, right? But we pretty much have the chest piece. Now we get to the head sculpt. We are pretty much going to remove this top part, and we're just going to go ahead and turn on that part so that we can go ahead and get his face sculpt turned on. And the same thing, we're going to go ahead and do it with the arms. So both left and right arm have batteries installed on them already. We pretty much remove that arm brace so that we can go ahead and turn on the lights. One thing that I do want to complain about the figure, and to be honest with you guys, this is kind of a big issue for me, is that it is very hard to put this figure together. A lot of the accessories and pretty much part of the armor of the figure, sadly it comes out really easily. It falls pretty easily. If you touch it just barely, part will come off, and that's kind of one of the things that I really don't like. Right here on the right arm, we're doing it pretty much the same thing again. Right now I'm just going to go ahead and remove all the pieces and just kind of want to turn on those things on. We'll go ahead and attach the figure completely a little bit later on, but just kind of want to show how it looks like right now with the lights turned on. It looks really good, honestly, guys. Honestly, the lighting, obviously the lighting on my camera isn't the greatest, so maybe you guys watching the video might not see how great this guy looks, but in person he looks great. Now another removable piece, and this one is kind of hard to remove, is going to be his chest piece. So for those of you guys who watched the video, there was a light blue type of chest piece that you guys can see right now, and that's by you guys removing the front chest piece. Now it looks really good, but me personally, I kind of am not digging this look. I love the red and gold, or red and yellow. I feel like this light blue color looks a little bit weird on him, but at the same time, to each his own. If you guys want to pose them this way, you guys have that option. So I think that's kind of a nice thing that they did with the figure. Now on this part of the video, guys, what I do want to go ahead and do is start attaching the other face sculpt and mask so that you guys can see the differences of how he looks. So right now I'm going to go ahead and attach the other interchangeable mask, kind of like the pointy mask, if I can call it that way. So pretty much it's very easy to attach. As I mentioned before, it's via magnet, but I do feel that it attaches a little bit too easily. Again, any wrong move that you make and the figure could come apart, and that's something that I kind of have some issues with. Let me go ahead and turn on the light so that way you guys can see the full face, well, not the face sculpt, but the mask with the lights turned on. Honestly, guys, this might be my favorite mask. Honestly, it looks really nice on him, and the lights are very well turned on through his eyes. Now I do want to go ahead and attach his actual face sculpt, the Tony Stark face sculpt, so that you guys can take a look and see how he looks. Now this one is going to be a little bit hard, so you just want to go ahead and apply some pressure on it, right, so that way you guys can get it attached, right, and make sure it doesn't fall off. And just looking again how he looks really good. The face sculpt looks so natural on the suit. Again, as I mentioned before, it looks exactly as Tony Stark, and it has this animated look that looks really good on the figure. So again, as I always say, it gives us different options. So the figure looks really good with either the face sculpt or with the mask itself. Now, I do want to go ahead and also get the roller skates attached to the feet. So as you guys can see at the bottom part of the skates, or actually top part, it's going to pretty much tell you what side it goes on. So that one has an R for right, of course. So at least you guys are able to differentiate, kind of make a difference of where those things go installed. So you guys are pretty much just going to apply pressure onto those roller skates, make sure that it does go in fully, so that way it doesn't fall off the figure. And then let me go ahead and do the same thing with the left one really quick. Again, I do want to confirm, I don't plan on posing him this way. I really am not a big fan of it because it's like, I don't think the figure can even stand on its own with the skates. But I did kind of want to at least show you guys how he looks with them, so that way you guys are able to, you know, pretty much, I guess, kind of get an idea of how to pose them better. Now, the skates do roll a little bit, but they don't roll as easily as I would have wanted. Right here, I did go ahead and put my camera down so that way you guys can tell how he looks with the skates. Again, just another option as far as posing. Me personally, I'm not going to go with that look, but again, to each his own, as I always say. Another thing that I do want to go ahead and do will be to go ahead and attach that hand with the light beam on, or the power beam, which to me was the favorite accessory of them all. So again, as usual, just with like other hands, we're going to go ahead and apply pressure on it so that way it goes install. It would have been very nice if the LED lights would have been able to turn on this light beam, but at the same time, this is a comics version Iron Man, so it kind of would not have made sense. This is just kind of like a preference of mine, but honestly, it looks really, really good, man. It looks so natural, and I love the look on Iron Man. Everything just looks great on him as far as the accessories. And now, guys, we have a quick side-by-side. So the side-by-side, it's going to be a little bit weird. So sadly, I don't have another classic Iron Man, and I don't have an actual Hot Toys Iron Man with the regular suit from an action movie that we've seen. But I do have my other Iron Man, which is the Neon Tech 4.0, which the suit is very similar to Mark 50 from Infinity War. Pretty much some similarities is that both figures are very heavy. The way that the figure bends as far as arms and legs is pretty much the same. Now, the classic Iron Man, by the way, I'm not sure why I have him standing that way. My apologies. He looks really, really weird, right? But he does feel more massive. He feels more muscular. The color applications would be pretty much the same. They're very shiny, and the way that the figure feels is pretty much the same. But again, just wanted to go ahead and make a comparison, right? Since these are the Iron Mans that I have, just kind of wanted to see what those similarities and differences are. Me personally, if you ask me which one is better, I'm obviously going to go with the classic Iron Man. The color applications are just much better, and they look much brighter than the Neon Tech 4.0, but at the same time, it is a black color suit. Now, eventually, once I start getting other Iron Man figures, because of course, Hot Toys always releases Tony Stark Iron Man figures, I do have some on the way. Once I start getting those, we're definitely going to go ahead and make comparisons to this classic Iron Man, and we'll be able to make a more concrete, a comparison that's going to make sense, right? I feel like this one really doesn't make sense, but at the same time, I did want to at least let you guys know what those similarities or differences are between Iron Mans. Now on this one, guys, this is my other Iron Man. Now this is not from Hot Toys. This is a 1/5 scale from ZD Toys. This Iron Man, honestly, it's one of the best figures that I have, because it's not, the price of it wasn't even that high, and the quality of the figure is really, really good. Now, as you guys can see, obviously the stance of the classic Iron Man is much better. Again, it is a Hot Toys figure. The other one isn't. But just taking a look at the paint applications, obviously the one on the right, the Robert Downey Jr. version of the figure, the original, the red is a little bit darker, not as shiny, and obviously the yellow parts, they're not yellow, they're gold. So those are differences that you guys are, I mean, pretty much you guys were already able to tell, right? But at the same time, those are the things that I wanted to point out. Again, same thing, the classic Iron Man is just much better, right? The color application look phenomenal, but I feel like that opinion of mine won't stand for long, because once I start getting those other Iron Man figures that are on their way next year, there's no question I'm going to change my mind, right? And I can't wait for me to get those figures, because we're going to be able to make a lot of comparisons, and I do eventually want to get to a point where I collect a lot of Iron Man figures. But for now, these are the only side-by-side comparisons that I have at the moment. I hope you guys don't mind them. I know they're a little bit weird, but at the same time, I at least wanted to kind of share my thoughts on them. Okay, guys, so we've pretty much reached the end of the video. So right now, I do want to go ahead and do some poses with this guy. Let me just go ahead and say this. Obviously, the pose, I do it off camera. I don't have any complaints about this figure as far as the looks of it. It looks phenomenal. Paint application started to look really, really good. The Tony Stark face sculpt is amazing. The masks look really, really good. Everything looks absolutely amazing. The accessories are very well made as well. I really can't think of anything that they should have had on the figure that's missing. I think everything is great. But I can't lie to you guys, it was very frustrating trying to put this guy together. Some of the accessories or some of the parts of the armor, they fall apart so easily that it was very hard to put this guy together. I mean, it's one of those things where you pretty much breathe on this guy and he's gonna fall apart. Especially those circular things that are on the side of his hips, those things fall all the time. So you guys are gonna have some difficulty trying to pose them because again, those pieces just fall really easily. Same thing with the arm braces where the batteries go installed. Those things fall really easily as well. So for me, it was very, very annoying and very frustrating trying to put this guy together. So that was a big issue for me. But that's the only thing that I can think of that was negative. As far as the look of the figure, everything looks perfect. This guy looks great. As you guys can see, they're posing him with the base. He looks so good, honestly. I am very happy that I picked this guy up, and for me, it has met my expectations. Obviously, whenever we did the preview video, I was already excited to get this guy open. Honestly, he has met my expectations. Very happy to have him. And again, I am so excited to collect the other Iron Man figures that are on their way. Now, as we've been able to see, pretty much Hot Toys has released a lot of comic version figures. So we have this one. We have the Wolverine by Hano Studios, which we previewed a couple of weeks ago. We did have a classic Spider-Man that was released, which unfortunately I was not able to get myself. Very disappointed, and I do want to apologize about that, guys. I do want to try to get as many figures as I possibly can for this YouTube channel. Sadly, that was not one that I was able to get, so that's why I didn't do a preview video. But eventually, I do hope that Hot Toys does a Thor and a Captain America. That is something that I would really, really like, and I feel like that's a path that they can take as far as collecting figures, as far as comic book version of figures or animated series. I feel like Hot Toys has a lot of options that they can go with to satisfy us as fans. And speaking of satisfying fans, so as I mentioned before, again, I'm very excited to get the figure, very happy that I got him, but one of the issues that I have with Hot Toys is the fact that they've made this guy, as well as the Spider-Man, the animated Spider-Man, they've made them limited, they made them exclusive, and I have a big issue with that. I feel like these figures, they're so legendary, they're so classic, they're so, I guess, big that I feel like we all should get a chance to get one ourselves. The fact that they're limited, it's been very hard to get the figures, right? And at the same time, whenever they make their announcement, well, we're not available all the time, right, to get the figure. So I really don't like the fact that they make these important figures exclusive. It really makes it hard on a lot of us to go ahead and get those figures. So I did want to go ahead and clarify that. But as far as the figure, as I mentioned before, I really don't have complaints at all, except for the fact that it comes apart too easily. But the look on it is so awesome. This pose right here is my favorite. This guy looks so great. He has presence to him. He looks massive. It looks really, really good. And the color applications, again, for the 15th time, they look really, really good. Before I do go ahead and end the video, guys, I do want to thank you once again for the continued support. The Doctor Strange video that I posted last time, you guys have been very supportive, and I really appreciate that. The next video for me will be the last one of the year, and I'm going to be reviewing the top 5 figures that I've received this year. I want to confirm it's going to be the figures that I've received, not all the Hot Toys figures for the year. Obviously, I haven't collected all of them, but the ones that I have collected for this year, I will be doing my top 5. This guy might be included. stay tuned in for that. I will be posting the video in the next upcoming days. But for now, I did want to thank you guys for the continued support. Thank you so much for always watching my videos and for subscribing to my channel. As I mentioned before, if it is the first time, feel free to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that way you guys can stay updated with my upcoming videos. I do want to remind you that I am on TikTok and Instagram, so feel free to follow me on that. The links are on the description of the video. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything that you guys would like to recommend me to do better, feel free on letting me know. I will be more than happy to accept those, I guess, comments and pretty much recommendations that you guys make for me. But for now, guys, this is going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for tuning in and for supporting my channel, and I will see you next time.